I that's what I get for bragging about Mac products, because I was just like in the middle. I for the last 3 days I've been telling people how much I love my Macs because they never crash. I never have to restart them except for maybe once or twice a year. And apparently this is that once or twice a year time period because I had to restart my computer today. So thank you all for being here. I am excited to share with you our the information about selling online and how we can make the most out of our ad dollars if and when we do decide to sell. Or I'm sorry, I'm tuning into your conversation from earlier, but even selling online, if you are selling online, you are potentially going to be paying for paid advertisement. And this is just going to cover some of the basics about what we want to consider when we are going to do some paid advertising on Facebook or Instagram. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into my screen share. So let me go back up here. Just nativebiz.org is the IDRS Acorn website. And that's a great place to go for additional resources or to sign up for technical assistance. If you've never done that, I highly recommend connecting with them in that way. And that way you can get additional support either from me or Lynn or anyone else on their team. That is amazing wealth of knowledge. So my name is Roxanne Best, and if you do choose to follow me, my Instagram is Roxanne Best. You can find me on all the socials at social media at roxannebest.com. That's just me. So we're talking about selling online, taking your social media game to the next level. And if you've got an already established social media strategy, adding paid promotion is a fantastic next step in that journey. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, and I usually have super colorful slides, but I'm playing with, and part of that learning process is when we're learning new things is like just figuring it out. And I'm playing with Google Slides. I've never used them before, so I apologize for not having colors or bright pictures. This could be my own hang up, but I just wanted you guys to know that I normally have a lot more pizzazz in my presentations. But the first thing that I wanted to cover are the do's and don'ts of paid advertising when we're considering social media paid advertising. This isn't, I mean, some of these rules could apply to print and, radio and TV things, but there's a lot more to consider when we're doing that type of paid advertising, because the expenditure is much higher. And there's a lot more that we want to consider than just these tips. But I wanted to make sure that I kept us within the hour and that I was delivering completely on each of the points. So do's and don'ts of paid advertising. I'm going to get a little bit deeper into use strategic messaging, have a clear call to action, be consistent. Don't forget to, so the don'ts, don't forget to optimize for mobile, don't stress over copy, and don't forget to schedule. Now, if you just read these bullet points and left, you may leave with a completely wrong idea of what all of these mean. So I want to take a little bit of time to get a little deeper into each of those topics. I just saw that somebody raised their hand. Do you want to unmute and ask your question? Was that Brandy? Or you can post it in the chat, your questions.
That was old.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So when we're thinking about strategic messaging, this is messaging that we're using to deliver content that resonates with our customers and or is allowing us to make a point. And messaging can be a deal breaker. We've probably all experienced Facebook posts where we're like just completely unattached to it. We could in fact, we can't scroll past it fast enough. And we've also come to content and read way longer on a post than we ever expected. And that has to do with the strategic messaging. The messaging in the post that you couldn't wait to scroll through wasn't meant to be a message for you. So the idea is that you weren't the customer that they were trying to connect with. However, the post where you hung out and you're like craving more information, so much so that you clicked on the link, you signed up for their email list, you did all the things because that message, it felt like they were talking to you. And that is what we want to make sure before we're spending money on advertising, that we are creating that messaging that is strategic. So, I wrote on here, you can have a boring product and a really good message and sell thousands of items. Or you can have an amazing project, but the wrong messaging, not sell a single item. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Poo-Pourri ads, which is the bathroom smell sprays. If we have time, I might pull those up to show you, because that is a great example of amazing messaging with just like a pretty cool product. Like we've all had, bathroom sprays that like help with the smell. But this is one that we're all like, I want to buy that one. And the same people that created the messaging for the squatty, it's interesting that all the examples I'm using are in the bathroom, but these just happen to be ads that were created by using really compelling messages. And that's why they're resonating with me. And I'll see if I can pull those two ads up as we get towards the end, if we have some time after questions. You want to make sure that you also have a unique selling or an example of that strategic messaging is also having a unique selling proposition. What is your USP? That is the thing that makes your product or service stand out, whether it's pricing, whether it's quality, unique design, different materials that you use, the way that you create your products, being Indigenous made, all of those things are your unique selling propositions. And a good example of the use of that is a price comparison. And Dollar Shave Club, I scrolled across an article, an Instagram post, and they had, because I don't know about you, but buying razors is super expensive. And like you buy a little cartridge and it's like $13 or almost $20 for like 3 razor heads. And then, it's pretty expensive. So what Dollar Shave Club did, because it's Dollar Shave Club, their unique selling proposition is we're a much more affordable way of buying your shaving products. So they did this comparison, a side-by-side comparison. Dollar Shave Club costs you this much. Buying from other places will cost you this much. So that is a great use of paid advertising, because that's going to get in front of a lot of people. And it's delivering that clear message of, we are better priced. We are going to save you money by paying for our products. Their advertising is really compelling, and we just dive right into it. And that's their messaging. Their messaging is connecting with all of us that are frustrated with paying so much for razor blades. And, it isn't always just about selling to pain points when we're creating those unique selling propositions. We can also talk about how our products will lift you up or make your life better. So, like I was just talking about using Mac products and how I'm always bragging about I love Macs, because when I was bragging about it, I was with one of my team members and she had to restart her computer 4 times in an hour. And I was like, dude, that's totally why I use Mac. I have to restart mine maybe once or twice a year. And I was just like, by me saying those things and showing her, she was sold on the idea that Macs are a better product. And that would be a unique selling proposition. Why would you want to buy my product? Well, if you are frustrated with having to restart your computer every other hour, buy this product, because you only have to restart it maybe every once or twice a year. So those are the kinds of positioning statements that you can make. Yeah, that's still speaking to a pain point, but just another example to compare. And then having a clear call to action. So there's nothing worse, that I see this a lot, where people are posting these amazing like Instagram stories, and they're doing these paid ads, and they're doing all this stuff, but there's no like, what do I do? Like, we literally, when we're on social media or when we're on the internet, we need to be led to the well to know where to drink. We need to know, where is the well? Where do I go to close the deal? So by using paid advertising, we are paying to get the attention of the viewers that we've identified as our target audience. So that's another benefit of doing paid advertising, as you can make sure your ads are getting in front of the people that they're intended to be in front of. But once you get that, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later, and we've had other workshops on identifying your target audience, so I don't want to get too far into the weeds on that, but just know, who's my customer? And then once you get this ad or this paid ad or this paid post in front of them, they're like, dude, that, like, imagine back to the Dollar Shave Club example. Imagine going to that ad and you're like, dude, I want Dollar Shave Club. How do I get this in my life? And you're searching, you want it so bad, you're even willing to go type it into Google, and then you still can't find it because the name that they use is actually not Dollar Shave Club. And so you're typing in the wrong information. So we want to make it easy for people to buy from us, to make the decision to be a part of our sales environment. So have a clear, like, click here to sign up for our free 10 days of 10 tips to live your most productive life in an hour per day. And then it like could be a button that says click here or whatever it is. And with a paid advertisement, you can decide, do you want a button where they click and go to a website? Do you want a button where they click and they message you? So what do you want people to do in your ad? What is your objective? And make sure that you're clear about that, because oftentimes, and I'm guilty of this, I'll put social media posts out there and I'll be like, I really, really want to get more followers on my Instagram page. I really want people to go click the link in my bio. And I don't say it. I'm like, I totally forgot to write, click the link in bio, and forgetting to add that information. So I'm not making it clear to people. And a lot of times, like, I've gotten asked this question, well, what if someone doesn't know what link in bio is? And my response to that, and this might be, mean, but that's not my customer. My customer knows what link in bio means. And so that's okay. Now, if I was targeting people that are learning about social media and learning what link in bio means, I would be remiss to say, well, those aren't my people if they don't know what link in bio is. But if I'm teaching that, I might say link in bio. And for those of you new to social media, what that means is you click on my profile, and when you look at my description, you'll see a link there. And when you click on that link, that's going to direct you to a whole list of opportunities to work with me. And that would be a great way to approach that. But again, clear call to action and different messaging. I'm getting a little bit into the next topic, so just know there's going to be a little bit of overlap. I just get excited about talking about this and forget where I'm at. So you want to make sure that you have that clear, like, what do I want my person to do? So right now, just take a couple of minutes. Well, not minutes, but take a few moments and think, if I were to post something about a product or service that I sell right now, what would I want people to do? What am I trying to build in my company or my organization or my business or in my community? What would help me the most in my growth for my business? Is it to get more people on my email list? Is it to get more people to just have conversations with me by asking me a question in Messenger? Is it, I want more people to comment on my posts so that I can start building engagement and credibility? Do I want people to click and buy my product? Do I want people to click and sign up for my training? What is that call to action? What do I need people to do that's going to help my business grow and flourish? So that's the question that we're looking to answer. And just write it down. Even if you've got like 3 or 4 things, you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many things I need people to do that would make my business better. Write it all down. And then you just narrow it down to like 3 or 4 messages that are going to be that clear call to action, that are actually really for real going to be the things that propel you into more of a growth phase, or more people signing up for your email list, or more people going to your website, or more people messaging you and opening up to real conversations, or getting that social credibility where people know you're not just some robot that's online trying to steal their information. So, those are all important things that we want us to consider doing and utilizing paid promotion online to develop. All right. And then, a little tip about design, you also want to make sure you're positioning that call to action in a clear place that directs them to a clear place to close the deal, whatever that deal is. And that could be the list of the things that I just shared. So if you have your call to action, Instagram is, most people know on Instagram, usually it's either comment below, direct message, or click the link in my bio. So those are usually the call, or follow me, maybe, because if it's a paid advertisement, it's getting into front of people that aren't necessarily followers of your page. So these are people that I would love to work with, but they're not yet aware that I even exist. And so you may, if you're looking to increase your following of people that are your ideal customers, which is what we want to do, right? It's better to have 5 people that are following us on Instagram that are buying from us than to have 20,000 people that really don't know who we are and have never bought from us. So just making that comparison, we want to attract people that are going to be our customers, that are going to be our fans, that may never be our customers, but they're going to tell people, man, I follow this person on Instagram or Facebook, and they're always putting out this amazing content. And the person that they share it with could be that next amazing customer or client that we've been searching for and hoping for. So, having those clear parameters, that clear call to action, being consistent. There's a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, because people are getting a lot better about this. And I like to say that I've done my part in helping to alleviate this issue. But you want to make sure that no matter where you're posting, people know it's you. That's brand identity is one way to put it, but you want to be visually consistent. It doesn't have to be with a logo. It could be by using a certain font or certain colors, and you use those fonts and you use those colors all the time. And then the way that you speak to your customers and to your potential customers is very consistent. The way that you, I don't know how, maybe raise your hands if you've seen the new series on Hulu, Reservation Dogs. Their marketing strategy, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it.
It's hilarious, isn't it? It's got a weird sense of, it's a weird humor, you know what I mean?
It is, but man, it is like so in the, you only know if you know the humor. But across everywhere that I'm seeing Reservation Dogs being advertised, you have face recognition by the people, the actors that are in the show. You have font recognition by the way that they presented it in the form of a logo, but it's like watching Star Wars. When you see that certain framework, whether it says Star Wars or not, we automatically go to Star Wars. I have a t-shirt that is in the shape of it's the formula for force, and it says and then it's the formula for force be with you. And everybody that sees it, they're like, even though I'm not a math person, I totally know that that's may the force be with you. And so that's what we're talking about consistent. It doesn't have to be that like, that's, oh God, what's the right word I'm looking for? I'm sorry, this word is, does it have to be that like extravagant, I guess is the right, a way to put it. It doesn't. It could be as simple as, like I have a saying on my social media, and I use it on my website, I use it on my Facebook, and I'll use it on Instagram, and it's be epic and do epic things. And now people are like, you're the Be Epic girl. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And so that is how we start to create that brand recognition. And people like in my community are starting to recognize my face. Like, oh yeah, I know who you are. I saw your post on Facebook or Insta. Mostly it's Instagram, but that is what we're doing. So by having that consistency, people will begin to know who you are. So you don't want to have a post about your amazing product on Instagram and you have a certain look, and then you go to Facebook and it's completely different. So you do want to have a little bit of differentiation between Instagram and Facebook, because they are different platforms and people interact with them differently. But at the same time, you want to have that clear consistency. So if you look at Reservation Dogs posts on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all over, wherever you see them, even the people that are creating memes and reposting, you'll still be like, that's Reservation Dogs. That, oh, look, it's on TikTok. Look at that's Reservation. And so even the people that are repurposing their content, it's still staying consistent with the brand. All right. And then don't forget to optimize for mobile. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but this happens to me a lot, where I will look at a website to buy something on my phone, which I do probably more on my phone than I do on my computer. And it will be really hard to see the products, and you'll have to do like this weird, like trying to like see the whole thing on the screen, or the words get really, really small. So when you're creating these ads, you want to make sure no matter where your customers are seeing them, they're able to see it really clearly there. It translates from desktop to mobile, which is what that means, optimized for mobile. Most websites that you create now are going to be automatically optimized for mobile. I use Squarespace, and as I'm designing my pages, and I'm just going to call myself out because I'm guilty of it. I get in, just put it out there. I need to get it on my page. I need to build this page. And I forget to click over because it has the option to see what your page will look like on mobile. And it literally changes the way that things are viewed. And I did it on a couple of pages because I knew that it was important, really important. But I have a few pages that I've looked at on my mobile device, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally need to fix that. So just pay attention to that as well. You know, if you're designing an ad on your desktop for Facebook, let's say, and then you don't look at what that will look like on mobile, oftentimes what can happen is part of the image will get cut off in a weird place, part of the words if you put copy on the ad. So just make sure that you're optimizing for mobile. And that's what that means. Like when you see, you know, website optimization, and what that refers to is they are making sure that your website is viewed optimally on desktop, on an iPad or a tablet or a phone, a smartphone. So that's what that term means. But you want to make sure that it looks good no matter where people are viewing it, knowing that it's going to change the format. The layout will be different. And if we have time, I'll pull up my site and I'll show you how that changes, just in case you don't that that way it sticks and stays with you. So here's some of that overlap. So we're getting into the don'ts. We don't want to stress over copy. Yes, we want to be mindful of copy. We want to be aware of what we're saying, but don't stress. And I'm talking about copy as it appears on the images of your ads. So I don't know about you, but whenever I see like, and it's interesting because I always try to tell people less words on the photo that you're putting on social media. Get them, and the words that you use, you want to draw them into like, ooh, I want to know more about this. So then they read the comment or the copy of your ad. And so that's what we want. That's what we're talking about don't stress about copy. If you don't have copy on your images, that's not necessarily a bad thing, as long as it's a compelling image that represents what you're trying to get people to do. I see a lot of native artists who do beadwork, and earrings is like, I'm like trying to manifest a new pair of beaded earrings into my life. And so I've been looking a lot at what people are putting out there. You have to be fast though. If there's someone whose work you like, you need to be, and if they sell fast on Instagram when you have a good following. But anyway, so I click, like, I'll look and see in the comments or what they're saying about it. Is this for sale? How much is it? How do I buy it if I want to buy it? Do they have a website that I go click? So by having just a really cool image of something I know that they're selling, I'm Or maybe I don't know that they're selling it and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that beaded cuff is amazing. And then I want to find out, is this something I could buy? Then I read the comments and they're like, if you want to buy it, click link in bio. And then I know the steps to do. So, that's where we want to be stressing a little bit about our copy and the way that we're messaging our people. But as far as like, oh my gosh, what do I need to write on this ad that I'm trying to create to get people to sign up for my workshop? Less is more. Always think less is more. And I just started working on a flyer for a little mini event that I'm doing. And I was looking at it and I made it yesterday. And then I looked at it this morning and I was like, I don't even know what I'm trying to get people to do. I was so confused and I'm the one who created it. So I can't imagine what my potential customers looking at it are going to feel. Cool image, so much words. And I just felt like I needed to explain all these things, but really what I need to do is have a few words that get people to go, ooh, even if I don't have the date or the link or any of, and I get frustrated when I'm like, why did they just put the link on the post? So now I have to go dig for it, but I dig for it because it's something I want to be a part of because they had such amazing, intriguing copy on the image. So less is more. So too much copy also, they've done studies. And that this is the cool thing too about paid advertising online is you have real measurable results. You can see, like, you'll know how much time people are spending on your ad if they're just scrolling right past it. If they click on anything, you get those statistics, those analytics will be a part of your ad. So too much copy, they've discovered, is like having too many words on the image. We've all seen it. And a lot of Native organizations like to put the whole story on the image for their event. And it's like, and I catch myself doing it. And when I was reading the statistic, I was like, oh my gosh, I do that too. Even though that's organizations that I love and I want to support, if I'm just scrolling social media, those are the ones that I literally just boom, scroll right past. I don't look, I don't engage. I'm like, oh, it's just another event. It's probably not something that's for me. And so we want to make sure we're not doing that. And research has shown, data has shown that that most people just scroll right past those ads. So I'm not special. I like to think I am, but most people are going to just scroll past those. So what can we do to create enticing, cool copy, cool ads that are going to draw people in and not get them to just scroll right past? So it's better to have an attention grabbing image that relates to your product or service or event than place the details in the description or the comments. But if you have to put copy in an image, consider using less and keeping it clear and to the point. And don't use like 10 different fonts, 2 or 3 max. 2 is good, because seeing all different fonts on an ad plus an image plus different colors can be overwhelming. And again, people will just scroll. So don't forget to schedule. The other thing about creating paid ads, when I was thinking about this point that I wanted to make, I was like, God, what would be a good example? And I was like, I remember the days of the newspaper. Everyone wanted the newspaper first thing in the morning. And if you wanted to get people reading the morning paper to come to something that you were doing during the day, you had to make sure that your ad or your article made it into the morning edition of the newspaper. And so if it went into the evening edition and your event happened at noon, no one's going to see it, or they're going to see it, but they're going to see it at the wrong time. So timing is everything. It's the same as social media. There are analytics that we can look at on Facebook, on Instagram, and Business Suite, and it actually marries them together pretty well. And pay attention to when your target customers are online. If all of y'all are my target customers and I find out that the only time you're on Instagram or Facebook is early in the morning before you go to work, at lunch breaks, and in the evening when you're about ready to go to bed, not any time before that. So, I wouldn't post when you're at work, which would be like, I'm just saying 9 to 11 o'clock. would be not the best time for me to post, because most people start work at 9 and they have a break, or they're just starting to think about lunch and taking a break at 11. And then I probably wouldn't post from like 1 o'clock to, I don't know, I would have a time range that I would probably try to avoid posting. But unfortunately my target customer they have a work schedule like mine, and they're like online probably all the time anyway. But there are times that they're more likely to be online, and we want to make sure by scheduling, we're making sure that we're getting that post online at a time that our ideal customers are there and present and looking at social media. So that's what scheduling does for us when we're doing paid advertising. It's a bonus. That's a good, so it says, don't forget to schedule. I was having a hard time finding don'ts for do's and don'ts of paid advertising. So I just turned like, we want to schedule. So we don't want to forget to do that. Make sure that we're getting those posts out there at a time. And it's nice because post or paid advertising is realistically affordable. I mean, that's not the right, excuse my English today. It is pretty reasonable to pay for paid advertising. I just did a paid advertisement for my stand-up paddleboard yoga classes over in Spokane, and I did okay. And I don't think I put enough energy into creating it in a good way. It was more of an experiment, and that gets me to the point that I'm making. Is it didn't break the bank. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I just spent $100 on Facebook advertising and I didn't get any bookings. It was like $15. And I was like, I guess I just won't get my Americanos for 3 days in a row, or, whatever it is to make up for that loss. So it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I just broke my budget on this ad. And now I didn't get the return on investment that I was hoping for. And so my life is like over, or whatever, so it's really accessible to all of us to have some paid advertising. And so with that, experimenting, try posting and doing a paid ad early, try one mid-morning, try one in the evening, and have them all running at the same time. So that's another thing. It's more of a deep dive into paid advertising, but doing split ads where you have a model A and a model B, and you let it go for a couple days and see which one is getting the most traction, and then stop paying for whichever model isn't doing great. So, that's the other thing, is if you pay for an ad and you're like, I want it to run for a month and I want it to reach this many people. If you put it out, like this is what I did with my SUP yoga ad, it wasn't doing great. It wasn't getting a lot of comments. It wasn't getting a lot of response. It wasn't resulting in more bookings. And so instead of paying for the full $100 that I budgeted for, I stopped it. And then it only cost me $15. So that's another bonus. Like if you were to pay for an ad in a newspaper or a magazine, there's no pause. There's no like, I don't really want everyone, like, it's not doing great. It's not getting the results I want. So I'm going to stop that magazine ad. We can't do that. But that's the cool thing about promoting on social media. Okay, so some other things to consider when we're moving into paid advertisement or paid promotion on Facebook and Instagram. So why do we want to do it? What are the benefits of paid advertising? So hopefully most of us have done some work around identifying our target customer. And by doing a paid promotion on Facebook or Instagram, we're able to enhance the targeting of our ads. Now, you could just put an ad out there and just let it do its thing. You could put a Facebook post or an Instagram post out and hope that people are going to click on it, read it, resonate with it. And most likely it might get in front of the people that you have that are already following you or already like your brand. But most of the time it's not going to. And a lot of the times we've built followings, or we have followers or fans on our Facebook or Instagram pages that aren't really our customers. We just like grew a following based on like old school ideas of how to be on social media. And so our target audience is not really our target audience. So we need to pay for paid promotion so we can say, you know what, my target audience are Indigenous females who are looking to step into their inner awesomeness and help other women do the same thing. Who are those women? Where are those people going to be? And then I can create an ad based on those. It's more demographic. It's like age, location, things like that when we're doing a paid advertisement. But knowing what I know about my ideal customer, I can pretty much target the different areas that this person is going to be in, like geographically, age, and different interests as well based on that description. So that's one of the really great things about enhanced targeting. When I did my stand-up paddleboard yoga ad, it was for customers in Spokane, which is about a 3-hour drive away from me. And I'm trying to build my market out there. And so instead of just putting a Facebook ad, paying for an ad that's going to hit Washington State, I was able just to target people in Spokane and get even more specific. My customers for stand-up paddleboard yoga, mostly females. So I was able to narrow that down to females. Well, I teach stand-up paddleboard yoga. So there's another area to narrow it down to. And so I picked people interested in yoga. And then there was another area to narrow it down. And so I just kept narrowing it down. So I wasn't just getting this mass sprinkling of people that would, and so outdoor activities was the other thing, and water activities was the other thing. So all these things that relate to that product or service that I was promoting, I'm able to just target people that are interested in that stuff. So that was really powerful. If I were to be like, you know what, I really want to target corporations who are looking for wellness programs that are going to help build empowerment and teamwork, then my target would be completely different. I would be targeting more that corporate, my language would be different. The words that I used, the way that my ad was presented would be different. It wouldn't be beautiful sunsets and serene, moments on the paddleboard. It would be more like teamwork activities, how you can like use hooking up to the line as a teamwork, all the things that would speak to that group. So that is one thing that is really amazing about paying for promotions on Facebook and Instagram, is we can get really, really targeted on who we're trying to connect with. Now, does that mean we can only run one ad at a time? No. I could do both ads. I could run the one for my ideal stand-up paddleboard yoga client. I could also run one that's for the corporate team building, empowerment workshops that are just happen to be on a paddleboard, because so many places right now are looking for new ways to team build and to keep people excited about working. People have COVID dollars to pay for wellness programs. And so if they don't know I'm out there, they're not going to look to me. They're like, oh, paddleboarding, no, but yoga, yeah. So we're hitting all these different markets and different topics. So it's really powerful what we can do. And then I could pick a third place that I wanted to target. Maybe I want to start like getting bull riders or people that are horse people to start coming to my classes because of how great paddleboarding enhances balance. So there's so many different ways that we can start to target and get more of the kind of people we want to attract to our businesses. So the other thing, and this is kind of more of a side effect, if you will, of this enhanced targeting, is it's creating a brand awareness. Like people are starting to know who I am now, or who you are, as you're starting to promote and pay to get in front of the people that are your ideal customers. So that brand awareness is key for that social credibility, which I've said a couple of times. And social credibility, and just to put it into more relatable terms, is We see ads all the time. I don't know about you, but when I click on some things and it takes me a while to trust that that's a real company, because I've bought things online before and never received the product, never heard from the company again, didn't know how to get a refund, there was no customer service. So it was a scam. And so that has made a lot of us skeptical. And so building that credibility, is this the real person? Does this person really deliver on what they're saying they deliver? And so, creating that trust, creating that social credibility is really, really important. And that's, the more times that your product or your service is getting in front of these people, the more trust we're building. They say it takes 8 to 9 touch points before someone trusts you enough to buy from them. So if you put an ad out there and nobody buys, that's normal. If nobody knows who you are and you're just starting to introduce yourself out into a new market or any market at all, you need to figure out, how can I make sure 8 or 9 times these people are seeing me and knowing that I'm a real person and that I have quality products and that I'm here to serve them, or whatever it is that you're here to do. Don't give up the first time. So be consistent and be persistent. And that's how you're going to boost that awareness. There's one product and I swore I wasn't going to buy it. And I swore it was a scam. And I wound up buying it and I love it. And it took me probably 6 months of seeing their ads and seeing their promotions over and over and over again before I clicked on a link. And then when I did click on the link, though, I was ready. I was ready to trust them and ready to buy from them. So, I mean, you never know when it's going to happen. So don't give up. Make sure that you're showing up even when it feels like nobody's paying attention. Because there are those people that are just sitting back and waiting. Is this person real? Are they going to be around? Can I trust them? And that's what we're doing. We're building that trust. If someone were to walk in our store and we sold like multiple, like thousands of dollars products, they're not going to just, unless they know they're coming in to buy that and spend $1,000, they know exactly what they want. Most people are going to need a little bit of like trust and connection. So even in a brick and mortar store, we're still doing that. We're still creating that trust and that credibility and that social trust. So track your campaign success. That's another bonus of doing paid promotion, is that you're able to get analytics not at the end, but analytics from the day you decide to pay and post. From the day it goes out, you are getting feedback on how long people are staying on your ad, what people are doing. Are they just scrolling past? Are they clicking? Are they reading? So you're getting real-time analytics on the ad. And so that's super powerful. There aren't a lot of platforms that can say, that or a lot of other ways of advertising that can give you such clear feedback on what your money's being spent on and what it's doing for you. Is it working or not working? I paid for an ad in a magazine for the first time for my stand-up paddleboard. Again, building my credibility over in Spokane. People need to know that I'm going to show up and be there and I'm a real person. I'm a real business. And other than people telling me, oh, I saw your ad in this magazine and that's why I booked your class, I have no idea. I have no idea if people like my ad. I have no idea if people want to like cut it out and put it up on their wall, or if people just want to like crumple it up and use it for a fire starter. So in their fireplaces, not out in the forest. So there's no feedback except when somebody says, oh yeah, I saw your ad in Out There Outdoor magazine. And I was like, I wanted to book a class. So here I am. So, but with Facebook and Instagram and other paid online platforms, you're able to get that tracking. So, if I put an ad out there because I want people to sign up for my email address, my email list, I'm able to be like, you know what? I did this ad and within, 2 weeks, I had 1,000 new email list subscribers. That's measurable. I did this ad and I got like 20 direct messages, which is what your objective was. And now I have these 20 new clients that I get to connect with and build relationships with. And hopefully they will become paying customers, so it's very trackable. And that's why we want to have that clear call to action. We want to know what we want people to do and why we want them to do it, so we can serve them when they do take that action. And also it fits your budget. I think I've kind of talked about that a lot, is how affordable it is to advertise on Facebook and Instagram. And you become memorable because it is so affordable. You're able to get those 9 to 10 touch points on a pretty reasonable budget. For the $200-$300 I've spent on outdoor magazine ads, I probably could have gotten in front of a ton more people if I would have put the effort into creating a really good ad, Facebook and Instagram separate promotion strategy. But there's other benefits to paid advertising in publications, and that's a whole other class. But if you have questions about it, shoot Lynn or IDRS a message, and that's a discussion we could definitely have later, because we are running short on time and I did not think I was gonna get through or take this long. I get excited and I go off on these tangents. So key performance indicators of paid promotion, we kind of touched on that a little bit in the previous slide, but KPIs is another way that you'll hear this referred to. And that's like, what was the result of this ad? How will I know that this paid advertisement was a success? And this is something that we want to establish before we ever do the ad. Because if we're like, oh, this did really good, it got me like 5 new clients, maybe that wasn't the point. Maybe you were trying to build your email list so you could have more people when you launch a new product. But yeah, 5 new customers is great, but that's not really what I was trying to do. Maybe those 5 customers would have come anyway, even without the paid ad. So what am I trying to do? If I'm trying to build my following on Instagram or Facebook, how am I going to measure that? Am I going to know it's a success when I hit 100 new followers, 1,000 new followers? So have that marker, that milestone, that key performance indicator. Maybe you want people to sign up for an event that you're hosting or to make purchases. So these are just measurable ways for us to know when our paid promotions are successful or doing well. And, again, we want to establish that before we ever put the ad out there, because this is sort of like reverse engineering. And I'm working on being better at this, because we get stuck in the whole, like, I'm so busy. I just need to do a social post. I just need to get something out there, which is what happened with my Sup Yoga post. It was like, I just need to get an ad out there. I'm just going to throw this together and put that out there and, bless and release, pray that I get some new customers. I didn't even know why. I just wanted people to sign up for my class. And it was just like this crazy. And so you can see how confusing that would be, even to the people seeing the ad. They're probably like, what am I supposed to do? So if I would have started with, I just want to create awareness about my Sup Yoga classes, and I'm going to know that I've created that awareness if I increase my Instagram following by 500 people over the course of this promotion. And so then as I'm getting more followers, I'm like, okay, this ad is working. So it's sort of validating. And then I would create an ad that is meant to, with the call to action that is meant to help increase following, which would be, follow me for more great tips on how to be a safe stand-up paddleboard yoga person, whatever it is. So, though that's how that works. If we want to start with the end in mind and then reverse engineer it from there. So all the things that we talked about, this is where we're going to start. Well, we're starting, obviously, what product or service are we selling? And then what do I need in order to be better in this business? And then create the ad based on that. All right. So summary, what we have covered so far is, knowing the benefits, the do's and don'ts of selling using paid promotion online. What to consider when we're creating paid promotions, and how to use customer profiles to target ideal customers. Again, if you don't know who your ideal customer is, there have been other workshops that we have done with IDRS that talk about identifying your ideal customer. If you don't want to go back and watch any of those replays and you want some one-on-one help with creating your customer avatar or finding out who your ideal customer is, again, reach out to Lynn, go to that IDRS website and sign up for technical assistance and say, hey, I need to identify my target customer. I need to know who that person is. And you can either work with Lynn, who is amazing at that. I actually need to schedule some time with her to work on that for myself. I can also help with, I'm good at helping other people, just not me. So either one of us, or Mark or Camille, I'm sure also would be a great asset to helping you to identify that. So lots of opportunities for IDRS to help and serve you in your businesses. So if you don't know who your ideal customer is, I don't recommend doing a paid ad yet, because then you're just kind of throwing dollars out into the air and hoping that it's going to lead to what the desired results that you're looking for. So identify that target customer before you start creating those paid ads. Awesome. So that is the end of the presentation, and I'm going to check here in the chat. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Randy, for that feedback. And if there's any other questions, just unmute yourself. And I'm going to see if while you're asking questions, if I can find those ads that I was talking about.
Oh, are you talking about the Poo-Pourri ads?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, they are so funny.
So I'm just gonna, I found I'm on their website, but just to give you a little taste of like what they do. I mean, their bathroom air freshener is what they like promote themselves as, and they have all these different ads, and it's formulated with 100% natural oils that eliminate bathroom odor before it begins, so you can leave the porcelain throne smelling better than you found it. Now that's a message that's only going to resonate with a certain group of people. Most people are going to find that funny, but so I'm going to see what this, I don't know if this is the video. No, this isn't the one, but that was different than the one I was thinking of, but oh, here's, are you guys seeing?
Fruitcake, Christmas.
Yeah, we can hear it.
The more you poop. Don't let your visit to the loo be the stench that stole Christmas. Use Poo-Pourri, the before you go toilet spray that creates a barrier on the water's surface, trapping the smell of your toilet tidings below. All anyone will smell is a festive blend of natural essential oils. This holiday season, be poo-paired with Poo-Pourri.
So there's a ton of, a whole series of ads that they did, and if you go, oops, let me stop.
Where's JP?
They keep going. So, but what's cool is it's the example that I was sharing with you about having consistency. So that little short video clip that you saw on their website, the one that was like that they were promoting for the holidays, there was a little snippet of that exact same ad of the flowers blooming out of the toilet. And so there's that consistency across all posts, across all platforms. So that was a really a good example of that. But their ads are like targeted to they have a unique selling proposition. They're uniquely positioned to help your bathroom smell better than it would if you didn't use it. Awesome.
Uniquely positioned to help you not embarrass yourself.
Right. I love it when I go to people's houses and I see that, and I'm like, I don't we don't always have to use it, but it's always nice to know that it's there because it does work. Awesome. So we're right at the end, and I know there was something else. Oh, I was going to show you the mobile optimization, but you can see examples of that online, look at a website on your desktop and then look at it on your phone, and you'll see the differences. Even looking at it from your desktop to your notepad, if you're using iPad or whatever it is, it even changes the way it looks from your desktop to the iPad. So awesome. Any other questions before we end our session? I need to
That
start.
was great, Roxanne.
Any videos regarding targeting customers?
I think there is. I actually think that on our YouTube channel is the one that you did on creating a customer avatar.
Oh yeah.
So Mandy, go to, and if you need me to send you the link, I'll send you the link to our YouTube channel. But if you already know how to find us on YouTube, it should be under the IDRS Acorn Project. There's playlist, and I think if you click on them, I think there's a marketing playlist, and it does have a previous webinar that Roxanne taught. I'm pretty sure that one's on there.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. It was fun to share that. It was fun to get it all out of my head and onto slides.
So have you seen the Lumi deodorant ads?
Yes, the same ad company, I believe, created both.
Yeah, they did a good job. It got me to buy it, and I actually really like that deodorant.
Do you? Okay.
I do.
I've been considering it too, because
it works really, really well, but you have to be clean when you put it on. Like if you put it on top of existing stink, it doesn't work as well.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it works really well. So a little pricey.
Brandy's gonna get all the words off of her flyer. Put them in the comments. Put them in the content in the description.
All right. Well, I guess if that's it, then we'll close for the day.
All right. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next. Next session is going to be getting down to the basics of Instagram, how to do stories, how to make reels, how to do the things, kind of taking it back to the roots, so we are better equipped to use our brain power to do the things that we need to focus our energy on, not like, oh, how do I do a reel or how do I make a story? So we can get that roadblock out of the way and use those brain cells to make compelling copy and compelling advertising dollar promotions that are going to serve.
So that class, Mandy and Brandy, I saw your comment just post about you need Instagram help, and I cannot help with the Instagram. That's not my thing. It's Roxanne's, but we can definitely pay Roxanne if you need her to review your Instagram site and give you some pointers or something. Then Roxanne can do that for you, and we can definitely pay for her time. So Roxanne, it looks like Brandy needs you.
Yay, thank you, Brandy.
So, and you can reach Roxanne by email at roxanne@idrsinc.org. She has her own her own email address with our organization. And Mandy, I'm trying to get off my screen so I can access my calendar. Do you know when is the next social meeting? When can you access your calendar?
I think they're the third
Wednesday.
So 1, 2, 3. It looks like it's supposed to be the 15th, but it's on the calendar for the 22nd.
Yes, Camille just said it's on the calendar for the 22nd. So just keep an eye out on our Facebook and stuff. And actually, I'm working on getting everything entered onto our website, all of the events scheduled. So, okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Camille, for putting that up there. Yay. Thank you guys. Have an awesome day. And Brandy, I guess we'll be in touch. So you have my email address. You can also go to the IDRS website and just sign up, fill out that technical assistance form. And then Lynn can put me in touch with you. Unless you've already filled it out, then you probably don't have to. There, I just put my email address in the chat. I think idrsinc.org. Yep. Okay, I think that is it.
And Brandy, if you forget how to contact Roxanne, just text me and I'll just hook y'all up.
All right. Thank you guys. I'm gonna go have
Okay.
lunch.
Y'all have a good rest of your day.
Bye.